Second to
The
last one.
second to last one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Let me see if I can set this up. Why is the quality so potato?
Huh?
Why is the
Wait, what do
quality
you
so
mean?
potato for
It's
me?
1080. Oh, for like the YouTube video?
Oh, it's auto set to 480. Holy moly.
Mm. Hello, Meru.
Hello, hello.
Thought you were going to bed. What the hell?
Okay.
You are in bed?
I screen share this, and then I gotta put
Oh,
this
hey,
onto...
Yuki is here to co-host as well.
Yeah,
Wow.
Yuki's here to help me host Wowee.
Wowee.
Wowee. What is this?
I'm doing work.
Yeah?
What kind of work? Hello. Hello.
Wait, I don't know how to actually do... add my... Is this a window capture? Okay. Okay, Pog. How do I full screen this? Oh, I didn't. Well, why does it have captions on? Can I put captions in Finnish or something?
No.
What?
No.
No. Okay. Alright. Hello, hello.
Hello.
Did Fujay ever wake back up?
No.
That is not back yet.
Okay, you guys can teach him. Teaching other people is the best way to learn, right?
I mean, certainly one way to learn.
Yeah, it's poggers. Okay, so this is my party's second to last run before we cleared. I'm just gonna go through it and talk about why we did things, like on a kind of more like macro level. I don't really focus too much on like individual stuff. I don't feel like that's really my specialty, and also Phantom is weird, and that's why we're watching Dark Knight instead. And what we do is not really gonna be applicable to everyone, because we have some restrictions on when we can burst, because Phantom is weird, so...
And Dark Knight is weird.
Yeah, and Dark Knight's even worse, man. Fuck Dark Knight, dude. So...
What the...
Yeah. Gonna just play it, I think? This is
But
kind
I
of
think the point is that we should have a like guideline depending on the party to know that to accommodate the party based on your needs. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's not like we have the boss solved or anything, you know. So this is just what we do. People might have different ideas for how to do things. This is just what we do, okay? And also Bishop is really, really incredibly broken in this boss, by the way.
Did you start the stream?
I did. You guys are on TV. Wow!
Wow.
Wow. Okay. So I guess we go over P1 first. I'm just gonna play it. Oh, yeah, so you should buff up for this boss because it's tanky. That's crazy. I don't remember how much HP P1 has, actually, and I find it to not really matter because my belief is that if your party has enough damage to clear, you can easily one burst P1.
Make sure you're in damage gear. It's like 130 or something.
Yeah. In this run, my party has two 140s, which are me and the Demon Slayer, a 130, which is the Evan, and then three 120s, which is everyone else.
Winning today, poggers.
I'm going in 5 seconds.
So you'll see with this amount, we actually I can't talk over myself talking, man, it's confusing. Yeah, so you'll see we still burst down P1 pretty rapidly, even with like 120, a mixture of 120s through 140s. Okay, so someone in Discord asked, how does party comp sacred force of party members impact strategy? There are, so this is where I'm gonna pause a bit. Well, I'm gonna answer that one after P1, so don't let me forget, because I think that's more of a P2 question. So yeah. We charge domain inside because one of our party members takes a while to load in, so we're not really going to be attacking much anyway until that he loads in, so we charge domain inside to save domain time. We decide to burst on the leftish corner because we feel like it's easier to control her motion this way, and the controlling boss positioning is really important in Seren because there's a lot of like obstacles on the map, right? So if you just go back a bit, domain is like covering like into the corner of the left map. That's the left bound of domain, and then the right bound domain is like wherever it is, right? So when we load in, we just kind of chill on the left. I have Showdown as Phantom, so I'm going to Showdown her to apply Untouchable. This way her dash is not as threatening. So she dashes, and we try to keep her towards the left side of the map because if she dashes into this left corner, it's like she's just in the left corner, right? But if she dashes right from the left corner, she's just in the center of the map, so we can still have domain. If we have domain in the center of the map, if she dashes left, then she's out of domain. If she dashes right, she's out of domain. And then we don't prefer the right side of the map because you'll see this later if Walt ever ends up on the right side of the map, which I'm pretty sure he will, that there's a pillar that is partially off screen, and it's a little harder to keep your eye on that because in Seren, and I think a lot of MapleStory maps, the map actually starts on the left side, so like your character can like walk into the wall on the left side, but if you try to walk into the wall on the right side, half of your character actually walks off the map, and this actually ends up being kind of important in P2 as well, so just keep that in mind. So this is why we do left side in P1. Is that the same for right corner Vihilla? I don't know actually. I didn't look at it. I haven't never noticed with Vihilla. But in this boss, it's kind of important because you want to basically like never get hit. So it's pretty rough. Oh yeah, because you can duck off the map, right? It is okay. Apparently, it is the same in Vihilla. So this is why we have domain covering the left side because this gives us a best DPS uptime inside of domain. So like Seren, within one dash, she will still be in domain as long as we control her positioning. If she dashes right from here, she'll be in domain, and then we just stay on her left side so she only dashes left. Seren dashes towards someone that she's aggroed on. She won't dash if she doesn't have a target to dash like on. So that's like the mechanics of the dash. We feel pretty safe bursting in Benny because our bishop is super good at topping us off, and if there's like something that gives us darkness, such as like pillars or like the radio lasers, our bishop will also dispel us. And now we've gotten the boss fairly low, so the idea here is we're gonna wait for our burst to come up for P2, and we also want to at the same time eventually deplete our gauge, which is next to Walt's HP bar. You want to deplete the gauge because whatever gauge you have from P1 carries over into P2, and while in P1 the gauge decreases, in P2 it will never decrease unless it fills all the way to the top. So it's really important to get into P2 as a party with as little gauge as possible. So here we're just going to AFK, basically. We left our bishop on the left. I don't know why we decided to do this, to be honest. That just ended up happening over our runs. He just happened to be the hero and stayed over there with Seren, while the rest of us just jerk off on the right side. So, yeah. He told us he prefers it because he has heals. So he feels like there's very little risk of him getting punished by HP death. He also has E form for stuns. So a common strategy for mages is that on the next hit that will stun them, they will press E form right before like the pillar pops or something. So they'll still be in E form when they're stunned. So that's like a trick for mage players, I guess. Sorry, I don't know how in depth to do this. I'm just gonna be like super mega in depth just in case.
The tech works. We're in it. We're in it.
Yeah, so we're just chilling. Yeah, this is the right corner jerk off. Yes. We're a 3-minute party, so we are going to jerk off until domain comes up. Yep.
Sorry.
So we just chill.
Oh shit, what was that lag?
You can duck that weapon aura skill.
We have 1 minute. We have 1 minute.
And then you can see there's that right corner pillar that's like mostly off the screen. My party also times our Jenny FD because of the way that because of weird phantom shit. So if you see us not attacking, it's because we have a coordinated time we want to pop Jenny FD so that the next time it comes up, it's matches when we're going to bind. So that's why we literally do not hit the boss right now, like at all. We just stay away from her. This is not the clear run, by the way. This is the run before the clear run. So,
Get your cleanses off if you're going to.
yeah.
Cleanse. Pillars?
Where's the pillars? No.
Not showdowns. Just letting y'all know.
Bind in 10 seconds. Remember that anyone can bind her.
Looking for pillars.
Yeah, someone asked if we discuss how we communicate in the boss. Yes, we have. We've had many screaming matches in Discord after runs about how we should communicate. So,
I think we're ready.
yeah.
Okay, I'm binding.
Comms for us are super, super important because you don't want any ambiguity for FMAs or when burst will be. It's pretty tight. So yeah, you can see here Walt's gauge has been completely emptied out. Good job, Walt. Poggers.
Thanks. Poggers.
So, any questions about P1, I guess?
There's still a pretty good chance that you're gonna get hit like once or twice even after you cleanse. Well, that's still fine.
We tend to try to empty out the gauge starting at about 1 minute left. I think that's more or less when people do it. I'm dumb, so I don't really listen. So I just do it whenever, and then I try to stay safe. A common mistake that we made when we were running this boss was that we would like accidentally take too many hits and end up at like 1/3 of the meter or whatever, and then we end up trying to like rush the cleanse for the rest of the gauge and kill ourselves. So probably do not do that, you know? Probably try to time your cleanse really, really well. But yeah, that's P1. No questions? Okay. So there was a question earlier about how does party comp sacred force of party members impact strategy? So in P2, this is where it kind of gets pretty complex. For my party, our only untouchable debuff is Stolen Showdown on Phantom. And Phantom Stolen skills, when you swap skills, puts the skill on a 30-second cooldown. And so Showdown takes up the same slot as Final Cut, which is 40% FD for Phantom. So for us, in order for Phantom, which is me, to get off as much damage as I can during my personal burst, I have to Showdown the boss and then swap off of it and then wait 30 seconds, and then I will have my full actual damage as a as a class. So as a result, in noon, I end up only having about like a minute of uptime on Final Cut. Yeah, untouchable is super, super important. Yeah, so in P2 in noon, which is the yellow phase, I only have about 50% uptime on like my class's full on damage. So that's why you'll see that my party doesn't burst immediately going into P2. So some comps, like they will probably want to burst immediately into P2. Maybe some parties will pre-charge domain in P1. Maybe some parties will, like, charge in P2 and bind in P2. So like whatever you guys do, that depends on your comp, right? So that answers part of that question. So there's, so Nightnor, Mercedes are the untouchable classes. There's also Phantom, and then there's also FP. Untouchable is really like an insane skill, or like insane debuff in this boss, because it makes her dashes do nothing and it makes like certain skills do nothing, so it's pretty important. Dispel from Bishop, also super important for damage uptime, also all the other bishop-y things, so any form of party dispel is very important. Yeah. Oh yeah, and then Seren herself does touch damage, and it really hurts in Sunset phase, which is the orange phase. It does 20% of your HP, but you can only heal 20%. So like your power elixir will heal you like one tick of touch damage. Yeah. So you don't want Seren to touch you. It's no good, So party comp also matters a ton for what you can do in Dawn. Dawn is, in my opinion, the hardest phase in this boss, even though literally all you do is like you don't even attack, but you don't attack because of how hard Dawn is. So it's kind of difficult to HP die in Dawn as a party, but it's still the hardest phase. And if I ever get around to talking about Dawn, we'll go through that too. So yeah. So again, another reason why we don't burst immediately in noon is because we have really slow loaders. My party had a problem early on where because I was at my parents' place and my computer was slow too, so 3 of us would just load in dead. So yeah. So for mechanics in this phase, she has this horizontal laser, which we'll call laser, I guess. We actually don't think calling it out really does anything, but we do it anyway. By the time someone calls laser, it's like already gone off, so like what is really the point? We just call it out anyway. It has a pretty significant windup, and another important concept about Seren is that all her skills have some sort of cooldown, right? So like horizontal laser has a cooldown, fat lasers that cover your screen, those have a cooldown, dash has a cooldown, like everything has cooldowns, right? The little bombs on your screen are bullshit, and if you're running at reset like my party does all the time, you just... Oh my god, I'm sorry. I just made a kid cry, holy shit. I'm just kidding. But like, you will get FMA like bombs, and that's bullshit, and it will happen, and you just have to accept it because GMS potato servers. That's all you can do. Up jump is incredibly OP to dodge those. I don't have an up jump. It's very upsetting, but that's how it be. Oh, you thought it was a cat? Oh my god, was that a cat or a baby? I could have it. Stop. I'm not stealing! What? Blade Ascension, leave me alone! Fuck you. Fuck you, Leo. We've gone over this. Ugh, it's pain. So yeah, we load in, and our bishop is always the first one to load in, so he tries to TP into the boss to force her to stab. So Seren's stab is very much like Black Mage stab, where she won't stab if the person she's aggroed on is not in her range. So he's trying to force out the stab because if Seren's stabbing, she's not doing other bullshit, right? So yeah,
it's like having a single person who loads really fast is actually bad.
Yes. Very bad.
Because yeah, Seren starts doing shit as soon as the first person loads in, so she can like the people that load in slower can just like die instantly, like before you even load in.
Yes, and that issue was very common in my party, so yeah.
Basically, what like if you don't load really fast, you should always like duck as you enter the P2, because she can do the horizontal laser or like anything like stab or whatever.
Yeah. And so the reason why we emphasize so much on horizontal laser is because horizontal laser, if you get hit by it, you get a special type of stun, and I believe you can't heal or potion. It's a heal lock. And it also fills up your gauge by about 30%. So it's very dodgeable, so getting hit by it is like
It's
pretty bad.
It's
Yeah.
also really bad because it also leaves you open for like other attacks during like your stun, so you get even more gauge filled.
Yeah. Good news is it's dispellable, Pog. So if you fuck up and you get hit, your bishop can save you, or whoever else has dispel. I don't know, like whoever else. I heard BT has dispel. I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, you really don't want to get hit by horizontal laser. Theoretically, when you get really familiar with this boss, you'll never get hit by a horizontal laser except for if you are really slow at loading and she horizontal lasers you instantly on entry. That's about it. And what else about the horizontal laser? I think nothing much else. You can see Walt is ducking here.
If she's
Yeah.
off screen, you should basically like always duck, because you can't see if she's going to do the laser or not.
The only thing I would add
But
on
she
to
shouldn't be
that,
off screen anyway.
yeah,
In the first place.
what I would add on to that is that if she horizontal lasers, she won't do it again for about like 9 to 10 seconds or something. Yeah. So she won't laser again for a while.
Laser.
So there was FMA bombs right there. I think someone just lost door because yeah, from late load in. So yeah. We also play this phase in the left corner for some of the same reasons why we do it in P1. There is a bomb that is partially off the screen on the right corner, and also another reason, which I never really like vocalized much, is that like in order to get to the right corner, you have to load in and like run past her. In order to do that, you have to cross the middle of the map, and these like fat ass lasers, they concentrate more towards the middle of the map, right? Like they shoot off into, they're diagonal, right? They shoot off into like the opposite corner that they spawn on. So the center of the map has a really high probability of the fat lasers hitting it or restricting your movement, right? So like why would you like put yourself in more danger when you could put yourself into like less danger, right? So that's why we pick left corner, because left corner gives people access to the sky for dodging the little bombs. If we DPS'd her in the center, if the lasers were going off, then the only way to dodge the popcorn things is to go left or right. But if we keep her in the left side, and like you're where like this guy is, this is Phelp. If you're like around where this guy is, like you could go left, you could go right, you could go up in the air. You have a lot of options keeping her in the left corner like this, so that's why we choose left corner. So our domain is like, I think the center of it is on this like rock right here. Can you see my cursor? I don't even know. But it's on this rock right here. Okay. It's on this rock right here, and it extends to the corner, extends a little bit into the middle. We try very hard to keep her on the left corner because we really like DPS uptime. So when she is here, same concept as P1. If in one dash, she can only make it to the center of the map. If you're standing where Phelp is and you have some range at all, you still have access to DPSing the boss. And we always stay on her left side. If she dashes to the right from the center, that's like what we consider kind of like a really like you like Ashley just like fucked up. What? Okay, so Yuki, the Kana in my party, said the domain actually goes only past the second stone from left to right a bit, but it's also enough because after one dash she's still in domain. I don't know what that means, but
I think he means the dash. The dash only goes past the second stone.
Oh yeah. If she dashes, she's only like kind of in the center of the map, but like she's not out of domain. So this just maximizes our DPS uptime. The way to get her to never dash past the center is actually pretty simple. You just don't stand on her right side when she is in the middle. That's it. right? You can stand on her right side if she just dash. So if she dashes into the center and you like go past her a little bit, that's fine because a dash has a cooldown, right? So yeah. That's a super like boss positioning is super important for DPS uptime in Noon, so I really encourage everyone to like pick where you would prefer the boss to be and learn as a party how to keep her there. Is it okay if she to stand right side if she's full corner? I actually think so, but when she like I have pretty short range as Phantom and I find it pretty irritating when she's in the center of the map. I actually have not very much access. Yeah. So that's something you work out with with your party if people are okay with DPSing her in the corner or if the fat lasers might zone them away. So you want to as much like for us we want as much as possible to keep her in the corner because this is the corner is the only place where all 6 members can guarantee DPS. So like if she dashed into the corner, we'll actually stand to her right a little bit so she'll like walk out a little bit. And then we'll go back to standing in the corner, like we'll like face plant into the corner and she will dash back in, right? Because if she's in the corner and we're all in the corner, she might turn right and dash out. So that's like something you get a feel for, like the cooldown of the dash and like how you control her movement that way. It takes a lot of practice, but it's definitely doable.
I have a note to add to that. Is that I think Goof's question is that so he is kind of master, right? And he wants to go a bit far from her to deal damage. So for example, he would say one dash distance away from her. And when she's in the corner, he has to be on the right. And I think that's perfectly fine as long as the rest of your party can still DPS on the left of her once she dashes near the middle. Then you can go back to the left and do the same thing. But you have to see whether your party can still DPS from the left of her without having to go to the right of her or having to be too near her. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that is definitely something to discuss with your party, whether that maximal distance is going to be optimized and efficient for everyone else in the party as well.
Yup. So like again, going back to what I said earlier, I find it irritating as a Phantom player to DPS her while she's in the middle, because Mill is like no range, so I actually cannot even reach her because I'm afraid of the fat lasers. Speaking of these fat lasers, their hitbox is kind of weird. They're like not as fat as they look, but like I don't know, it's bullshit. So watch out for that, I guess. That's all I can say about fat lasers.
They also have like different timers for when they like, because like you see the initial animation for like the telegraph for the laser itself, like it always takes like a different amount of time for the laser to actually go off. Like sometimes it's like really fast, you can like barely even react to it.
Yep.
And sometimes it's like super slow.
Yep. And then sometimes it comes in at an angle that's exactly on one of her like little radio lasers, so you don't even see the warning because it's on top of the radio, and then you just get blasted, and you're like, why is my screen white? Why am I dead? And it's just like that's just how it be, man. So you gotta. I played this boss with sounds on because you can. There's a sound cue for everything: the stabs, the fat lasers, the horizontal laser. Like everything has like sound cues. So I play with the sound on, but I've been bossing on my Kana with like a party that had like a shade in it, and then a cannon master, and I think that's not viable for every party. So yeah, I actually cannot fucking hear. So maybe sound cues won't work for everyone, but if sound cues work for you, then turn on sound. It's kind of poggers. So, did we burst yet? Yeah, we bursted. Or no, we haven't bursted.
Batting in 5 from now.
Yeah, you just up jump the bomb. Up jumpers die. It's not fair. Where's my Urda up jump?
Blade Ascension.
Shut up. Yeah, so you can see this fat laser does not actually hit anybody. Walt has no iframes here.
Yeah, this doesn't even reach. I'm not even in the corner and it still doesn't reach me.
Yep, nice laser. Thank you, Nexon.
Nope.
And then here's the warning for if I can go back enough. Okay, maybe I shouldn't have gone back frame by frame. Yeah, so this laser does not hit Walt or anyone in the corner. This is good to know for DPS uptime. You just have to kind of run it a few times and see what the deal is with this stupid laser. Okay, we burst. Yeah, you can see she has like a pretty long windup for the horizontal laser, and again it has a cooldown. Really important, duck the stabs. So I guess something kind of basic-ish about this phase I didn't explain was this gauge. This gauge, once it fills up, you take a special stun just like you do in P1. Except for every time your gauge fills, your midnight decreases by a tick. There's like approximately 20 to 21 ticks of midnight or something like that. And once you lose a tick, you can't get it back except for if everyone in your party, like if in the previous segment, not a single person got stunned and then everyone passes the test. So it is really, really difficult to get midnight back, but it is doable. I think the only phase that my party ever gets midnight back from is dawn. I don't think you can get midnight back from midnight.
I don't think so.
Yeah, and then if your midnight gauge depletes entirely, your party will get booted out of the boss, every single person. No, this horizontal laser you can duck. You can just duck the whole thing. Yeah. We're talking about, the people in the Discord are talking about the fat lasers that are diagonal, like that are on the screen. But no, horizontal laser, you just duck it. And the time it actually takes to apply the laser is pretty short.
Sure.
Free DPS, free DPS. Farm BA, farm BA. Lasers. Stabs it back.
Yeah, so you can see she does dash into the middle sometimes, but we still try to DPS, and then we just like react accordingly. See, like now all of us have lost access to DPSing the boss because we are in the corner to try to dodge bombs and such, or lasers or whatever, and it's a little harder to DPS when she is not in the corner for us. Yeah, so she only dashes back and forth. The test is coming up, so for the FMA, I feel like this is like something that people kind of get into like, I guess like they have different views on how they do the FMA. So for my party, on the first FMA, someone always lags, so we never do the first FMA. We always
there's like this small lag spike always for the first FMA because it like has to load the asset for you or something. Like even I get like a tiny lag spike even though my PC is like really beefy.
If your party all has good PCs, you don't have to iframe the first FMA. My
No,
party
yeah,
iframes the first FMA because some people in our party is just like frame lagging all the time forever.
Yeah, actually get like a pretty like big lag spike from the first FMA. And then like every other FMA is fine.
Yep. And then the other thing about the FMA is that like you have to duck under the correct pillar, right? And for some reason the FMA never spawns on the very, very left corner pillar, so it will never be there. So my party, we will only group up in the middle or towards the right side. So we'll only group up here, which is under the middle pillar, or over here, which is under like the second to the last corner from the left. So yeah. Well, Nexon is actually going to change it to where the FMA will never spawn in the left corner or the right corner in the future, but we're not getting that for a hot minute. So yeah. So here we just iframe. Like we're not even in position because we just know we're not even gonna bother doing this one. If you want to see where the test is over here. This is what my party calls the left booby, because this bush looks like boobs, and this is a left booby.
Yes.
Yes. So this is a test on the left booby, and yeah, we just don't do this test. We just iframe this test as a group. With curving, Jenny iframe, and like your own classes, whatever iframe, should be pretty alright. But I know Night Lord is really common, and Night Lords don't have like enough iframes to cover all the tests, I think. So if people play Night Lord, I don't know. I don't know what the answer is for Night Lords, so sorry. I have Mark of the Phantom for every FMA, so whatever. So now we're in Sunset. In Sunset, your healing is reduced down to 20%. So if you do a power elixir, it will only heal you 20%. There are a few skills in here. There's the dash, which you can just ignore if she's, untouchable. There is the 1, 2, 3, where she does a 3-part attack. This is a 1, 2, 3. The 1 and 2, if she's untouchable, you can just pretend she's not doing anything. This is like time to DPS, right? And then the 3, you can duck it. Even when she's not showdown, you can duck it, I believe. But the 1 and the 2, you cannot duck them. It does 200% damage, so most likely it will one-shot you. So, but if she is untouchable, if you have the showdown on, if you have the lightning edge on, if you have the fire poison themabob on, then you can just, she is no threat at all. She cannot do anything during this except for flail around and be kind of annoying because she goes out of my reach and I get really annoyed. So yeah. This is a 1, and then this is a 2, and then the 3 is a stabbing animation. So this is a 3. So you have to duck 3 even when she's untouchable, and 1 and 2 you can just ignore when she's untouchable. Fountain is poggers in this phase. Bishop is poggers in this phase. Bullshit GMS lag makes double sword pillar things happen a lot, where you'll see there'll be a pillar in one spot and there'll be another pillar in the same exact spot immediately after. This also happens in P1. Can you dash behind her fast enough for 3 or just duck? You can TP behind her, dash behind her, whatever. Yeah, you can go behind her.
You can go behind for all of them.
All of them, yep. But not really necessary with untouchable. Dash also does nothing when she's untouchable. You don't want to get stabbed in this phase. Like, even when you have untouchable, you don't want to get stabbed because you take a debuff. We call it like poison, and the poison makes you is a heal block. So while you have the poison, you are heal blocked, and it can be dispelled. So that's good, but it also makes your gauge go up. So Seren is like a race to hold on to your gauge as much as you can until midnight, because once you reach midnight, as if any gauge you have starts ticking down at midnight for as much midnight as you have. So really critical if you want this run to go long is to get gauged as little as possible. Failing tests will also make you get gauged. I'm entirely positive that we will fail a test at some point in this run, but yeah, so this is the other part of the question from earlier about does, like, how much sacred power you have, what your comp is, like, does that change how you play this? And it absolutely does, because most early clears are what we call 2.5 cycles, right? You go around the clock once from noon to noon, that's 1 cycle. And you go around again from noon to noon, and that's 2 cycles. And then you go into noon, you go into sunset plus midnight, and that's what like my party calls a 2.5 clear. The more times you cross dawn, like basically the harder it is, because every time you get into dawn, you have to carry your gauge from dawn all the way back to midnight. So yeah. There's that. So 2.5 cycle clears is what I think of as pretty standard for early parties trying to clear, but because we have things like curring in GMS, you can do like a timeout clear, which is 3.5 cycles. This is a 3.5 cycle run. It's not a clear though because we didn't have the symbols. So yeah. Spoilers, I guess. But I think parties and reboot with like sufficient gear and stuff, 2.5 clears at 140 for like basically the whole party. Definitely very viable. You don't have to go for the timeout. But if you are short on damage and you have to force the timeout, it is totally possible with enough practice on this boss. And like, I honestly kind of encourage it because the way that Sacred Power works, and like with this boss, the more damage you have, like the more significantly easier she gets because of this bullshit shield mechanic she has in Dawn, and you'll see that later. So yeah, we at this point we're playing for 3 dawns, which would be like going into our 4th cycle into like timeout clear or of some sort. We didn't think we were gonna clear this run though. But yeah, so Walt has a poison here. He's taking some extra health per second, and then he also has his heal blocked. He died? I don't know. How did I that one? It happens, man.
That wasn't supposed to happen, but yeah.
Yeah. There's also these things on the side. I heard you can put smokescreen on them, but you can't dark sight them. So I guess for any shadowers, you can put your smokescreen on this thing. If you stand on this, you take 50% HP damage, and you also get the poison, I think. And it hurts. Don't stand on it. They spawn at about the same time every sunset. So yeah. You can dark sight the meteors from the sky, but you still get gauge. So like they kind of nerfed dark sight a little bit for this boss. So non-dark sight people rejoice, I guess. Yeah. Oh yeah, this curtain things, they don't give sunlight. So if you want to kill yourself, you can stand on them and kill yourself. Yeah.
Well, they do give the burning debuff.
Yes, they give you the poison, which is really annoying.
If you're not looking to die.
Yes. So my party's focus is to not have her in the corner because these stupid curtains will make it kind of annoying for anyone that doesn't have TP. So TPers die, I guess, even though I also have a TP. So yeah. So we try to keep her in the middle. We want to burst her in the middle. This is where bursting again gets really weird, specifically for my party. Walt has to proc Pact at a certain time because he needs Pact to pass the test because he doesn't have enough iframes. So Dark Knight just really sucks. So we have to always burst late when he has Pact up. So that's why Domain has already been up, but like we're not bursting yet because Walt is still trying to die, like at the specifically the right time. Because if he packs too early, he'll just die. Like he won't have packed for the test going into dawn. So this is another reason why we are delaying the shit out of this bind.
Also, this was awful censored for me, so.
Oh, it's
here,
I'll mute the molding. Oh,
yep.
Nice. Yep. Okay.
Nice.
What the hell, man? Where's the pact, man?
Hello.
Oh yeah, I remember. This was not a
happening, fun. I guess.
Yeah. Do your best, man. Dying
no,
is too...
I didn't forget to turn pact on.
He died on accident.
Early. It was still too early.
Oh, there's the pact pog. You did it.
Yeah, I did it. Barely.
Yep, so now we burst. Burst, DPS, poggers. Test is coming up. we're gathering for test. Another super fun bonus thing to tell you guys about Test is that she cancels whatever untouchable effect you have on her. So she can animation cancel stuff, and if she does 1, 2, 3, and she does 1 during the FMA, you will die. If she does a dash, you will all get knocked back.
Yep.
This is bullshit, and you just have to accept that it happens, and there's nothing you can do about it. So, if like she does some bullshit to your party and you're standing next to her during the FMA, don't scream at your untouchable person. I mean, you can if it makes you feel better, but it's not their fault. What else is there? Other thing about Test is that the test desyncs super hard. That's also thanks to nice GMS servers, poggers. So sometimes you'll do the test as a party and like one person will live and then everyone else dies. And that one person was not iframed, did not lose door or anything. That's because Nexon sucks, so you have to get into position within like about 1 second or you may fail the test. So yeah, so it's like test sucks. Do your best. Yeah.
Test sucks.
Test sucks. Okay, so this is midnight. Your sunlight gauge depletes rapidly when you get into midnight. So you can see Walt has some gauge and he hit midnight and then it starts decreasing. Midnight actually ends slightly before the FMA shows up on your screen. So when your midnight is super short, your midnight might not, like your sunlight won't deplete all the way to the bottom. And that sucks, but that's how it be. She also does a stupid repel skill in this phase, which is really annoying. Yeah,
you
right
can't
there.
really see it from my POV because I'm impact, but you see other people getting knocked around.
Yeah. And she can do that during the test too, so she can repel your party during the FMA, so be careful. So we try to lead her to a corner, and then we are supposed to gather on the left booby, or right booby, no, left booby, but then we like,
Left booby.
yeah, the booby on the right side. But we did not do that. So okay, this is Dawn. Dawn is really poggers, because it's, by really poggers I mean it's totally not poggers. It is really annoying. So what happens in Dawn is it will phase, and then 15 seconds after this she'll spawn a set of like puffy balls in the middle, and she will cast this stupid like plate thing immediately, and the plate thing will pop out of the ground every like, resources told me it was 2.7 seconds, but I don't know if that's correct. It's like 2.7, 3 seconds, whatever, it's the same shit. It just pops up every once in a while, and if you're on it, you'll get some sunlight, you'll get knockback. It's really annoying. And then this shield will spawn, so you can see the shield is a white bar. At the end of Dawn, whatever shield is present gets added onto her HP bar in a 1-to-1 ratio. So that really fucking sucks, because the shield grows anytime anyone takes any damage in this phase. Except for, I guess, damage you do to yourself. So I guess if you, like, or like are popping decents, like you're not contributing to the shield. But if you get hit by touch damage, if the deer knocks you back, if you get hit by the stupid plate thing on the ground, if you get hit by a puffy ball, if you get hit by a sword from the sky, if she stabs you, like all of those will add on to the shield. And the bigger the shield, the more she heals. The more she heals, the longer you have to be in this stupid boss. So it is in your party's best interest to find ways to literally never get hit in this phase if possible. And there's a lot of ways you can do that. Our strategy is that we show down her immediately so no one takes any touch damage, because touch damage will add to the thing at the top, right? The shield. We take touch damage and everyone kind of like needs to be in position on one side or the other by the time the puffy balls spawn, because the puffy balls are kind of like the wheel balls, where like if you walk past them, they will pop after a delay. But like it's really easy to int your party because they also give you reverse. So like what happens if two people walks into them, or if someone's standing in it, like, and they up jump, then it'll pop on the person on the ground or whatever, right? So we have a designated puffy ball popper. That's me. I heard the cool kids popular term for them is wisps. I've called them puffy balls. So yeah, puffy balls fill tons of gauge. Yes, they fill your gauge. They reverse you. They do damage. They're just dicks all around. I hate them. They hate you. So yeah. You can also kill them if you had enough damage, but we practice this boss mostly at 120, so we never had the damage to kill them. But maybe people can try to kill them. I don't really know how viable that is, so we never really tried it. So yeah, we don't kill them, we just pop them. So yeah. So Walt's job is to bait the boss. Is he the best class to do this? I don't know. This is just what happened, so like don't interpret this too much, right? This is just he's just doing it because this is just what happened in our party. We decided Walt is holding the boss, so he's gonna hold the boss in the corner. Um, his job is to try as much as he can to make her send the stupid little plate things off the screen so we don't have to deal with them. Because if they go off the screen, then no one in the rest of the map has to deal with them. And he's also going to try to make her dash into the wall so she doesn't go into the middle or anything like that. So you can see we're taking position. We phase at about like 32, so I would estimate the first set of puffy balls is like 32 minus 15. I'm not the math expert. Is that 27? Like around 28, 27. They can spawn early.
17.
Wait, no, 17! This is why I don't do the math in the run, man. Sorry. Yeah, you can get a 7th person to time the balls for you. We did not have a 7th person. You know, you can't starboard what I say in VC, so yay. Shut up. Okay. So every 15 seconds or so the puffy balls can spawn. They can also spawn early, so you guys just need to keep track of that. So we're taking position. They should spawn in like soonish, right? Oh, there's also this deer. This deer is kind of a fucker, right? Like this deer, when aggro's on someone random and has like, we think like no leash range or some shit, it can like aggro on someone on the other side of the map and it'll just walk over and start like knocking you back. So you want to keep her out of the corner, because when the puffy balls spawn, no matter how fast your puffy ball popper is, it's still gonna be like a few seconds for the puffy balls to spawn or to get popped, right? So you need the deer out of the corner, because if the deer's in the corner and you don't have an up jump, there's like really nothing you can do. So right now we're on the sides, and then this deer is just running it down at Walt, but it changes aggro every so often, and you can see this random ass person just went across.
There.
Yeah, beautiful FMA swords basically. You can see this I zoom across the map when they spawn. Right,
It always spawns like 2 waves, like back to back.
Yeah, and
So,
depending
like,
on
6
server
balls
lag, it can lag.
total.
Yeah. Yeah, there are yes, there are 6 balls. They spawn in 2 sets of 3. One is slightly after the other one. If you go too early, you'll leave some behind. If you go too late, they'll drift around and shit on you and reverse you and give you gauge, and you'll be super sad. So I do the thing here. So I popped them. Go me. I didn't miss any. Go me again. The life of a puffy ball popper is really sad, because your party will int you over and over and over and over and over again. And you feel very sad. It's like they don't even care about your life, man. I'm just kidding. They do. Probably. I think. But yeah. Why are you squinting at me, Yuki? I'm pretty sure you into me this run, man. Let's see it, man. Yuki murdering my ass. Yep, so every 15 seconds we pop the balls and the rest of the party roams to the middle. They try to get the deer's attention, which is totally random, right? So their job is to get the deer out of the corner. If the deer's aggroed on Walt, he can only like up jump and like hold the boss, right? And then now we say like get out the corner, we're gonna pop the balls. Popping the balls. I'm in Sacro right here, so I'm iframe, I don't give a fuck. I'm staring at the boss for some reason. I don't know why. Maybe I'm actually attacking the boss, but it's not showing the animation. I don't know. Whatever. I missed one right there, actually. I come back for it. Yeah. So people want to bait out the push because when you bait out the knockback on the deer, it stands still to knock you back. It can't like ram you, like it's not gonna run you down, right? So like now it's mathematically it's going to be aggro onto the rest of the party. So they're just chilling. Yeah, we also use like up jump and like blink to like have the if the deer's aggro on you, it just walks back and forth like it did right there. So this is just like the whole routine. We you know, go to the middle when the balls are not there. We try to get the deer to cross the middle a bit so it's less likely to go into the corner when we're popping the balls. So vertical mobility is really poggers in this phase. Cannot be stated enough. So good. So poggers. So amazing. Not that I would know. I am stuck to the ground. Yep, and you just do this for like 2 minutes-ish and then you're done. Yay. Wow. Did you clear? Yes, my party cleared on Saturday, I think. This is not the clear run though. This is just a practice run. This is a run second to last. Oh, we cleared on Friday? Okay, well we cleared on Friday. There you go. I have no sense of time, man. When you had 3 finals, yes, I'm sorry, Yuki. We could have ran on... Wait, we weren't even gonna run on that day, and then you were like, let's run on this day, and we're like, okay. Yeah, but now we just replay this. I'm just gonna play the VOD because it's just the same thing over and over again. We have slightly less restrictions on this phase because Walt doesn't have pact in this for this sunset, so we just burst a little bit earlier in sunset. But you'll see like everything I've kind of gone through, it's more or less the same. It's like in noon, keep her left side as a team, DPS DPS. Don't get hit by stuff. Keep your midnight alive. I wonder if we got midnight back in this.
Also,
dawn.
if you see me get stabbed there, like the stab range is pretty massive as well, so don't underestimate that.
Yeah.
The stab range is one kind of teleport distance away. Thank you very much.
Okay, no, there's no way. There's no way. It's bigger than that. It's bigger than that.
I think it's bigger. Yeah,
I think it's
it's
bigger.
longer than Gungnir.
Yes, more. Yes, more.
You saw the stab right there? Like that was a pretty good example, I think.
Yeah. What the hell, man?
Yeah.
Nice
it was
stab,
all
man.
the way. Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like looking back on like our runs, it's like this boss looks so simple, but then when you're actually learning this boss, you just like get shit on like over and over again. It's pretty rough in the beginning. I guess that's why I kind of wanted to do this rundown, spread the knowledge, something, right? Also, I guess like facts for people who don't know. Well, good thing is I streamed this on Twitch, so you can go back and look at it. And I know because I only streamed it on Twitch because some people were like, I want to watch this, but like I'm doing something else. Yeah, so you can go look at it. This is, yeah, so I don't know. Do whatever you want with this information. FMA bombs, poggers. I just took 1 million fat laser in the face. I just saw that. Owie. Yeah, now we're gathering for the test. And then we decided not to do this test because we thought it was too far away to do, so we just decided to not do it. Yeah, we don't do tests that aren't one to the left or one to the right of where we decide to gather. That's how we decide on which test to do because we have decided one to the left or one to the right is not worth our time because most likely we'll get desynced and all die. Oh, hello, Pocket Gamer. Oh no. Oh gosh.
Wow, the massive raid.
The massive raid. Not like this, man. Hello. There is nothing much to say. I've already went over the whole cycle. You're now is just live VOD review from a run we've already VOD reviewed. Wow, look at him shoveling away.
Wow.
Look at this amazing Gungnir action.
Well, it's a good thing they didn't see their first sunset because that was kind of.
We could replay the first sunset.
No, please.
Well,
don't.
good thing I have VODs on so like people can just rewind. Wow, I really love FMA things. This is really fun and fair. This is where
Very fun.
shell is so poggers. Our bishop is really good about shelling us for bad pillar patterns. Thank God for fondue poggers. It's bound. He's bursting. He's bursting. Oh my god. The damage. Holy cow. Oh my god. Wow. Wow. Amazing. Not even 10
Wow.
bills, man. Buff Dark Knight.
Amazing.
Oh, stabbed. Oh. 1, 2, duck, pog.
Fog.
Yep. I already went over every single one of the phases, and I don't know what else is there to say. You can just like try to remember what I said for the people who were here the whole time, and you can like see if we were applying it or not. Sometimes we int, oh, Walt's trying to die. Oh yeah.
Yeah, it didn't quite work out for me, but you know, there was an effort.
So
What happened here was that
I was like, what are you doing, man? And I realized you're trying to suicide.
I'm actually shocked that I didn't die there. Yeah, I had door.
Yeah. So sometimes people, when they don't have iframes or the party is deciding to not do the test or has a good risk of not doing the test, they just suicide because if you're gonna die anyway, you might as well die and preserve your gauge and have a deplete in midnight. So Walt's trying to die here so he can get the value, right? Like he doesn't take away any of our midnight by dying before the test, and his sunlight gauge will get depleted, so it's like a really big win, and he loses a life. But lives are usually not the issue, even though if I remember I ran
Lives
it down.
are a resource.
Lives are a resource. They cost 5 mil each. Although I remember I ran it down in this boss or in this run at some point, so it was kind of spooky. Yeah, he is trying his best to die. He does not die.
You know, that's funny. I had like 900 HP left. Wow.
Is this a warrior link popping off too?
Yes.
Did it pop when you were getting hit?
I'm not sure actually. Oh no.
no, it popped when he was down to 4k HP, which is what the threshold for warrior link proc down there. Not at 50%. With the first door it didn't proc, but after the door it proc.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't proc if you have a door, I think.
So this is what a test fail looks like, by the way. When you fail the test, the emblem shows up, so that means that you lose a tick of midnight, and then it also does like a bonkers amount of damage to you. I'm pretty sure it's like not survivable by like damage reduction skills.
It's like 1000%.
Yeah, it's like Black Mage FMAs. It's just like a bonkers amount of damage. You're like probably not.
So unless you're Jet, you can't tank this basically.
Can Jet tank this?
Yeah.
Yo, that's poggers.
Pretty sure Ray did that once.
See, you say just E-form, but E-forming also depletes your midnight. Just saying. So if you are an E-form user, it's also in your best interest to coordinate as many iframes as possible so you can save your party midnight, because the less midnight you have, the shorter your boss is going to be. If your party is lower in damage, you really want to have as much midnight as you can so you can make it into like that, you know, kind of sweet 2.5 cycle clear zone, or the nice like, you know, the gamer clear of 3.5 cycles that we dreamt of but didn't achieve because damage is just too good, man. Too OP, man. So yeah. There's also some cool, fun, interesting strats where people like health cut themselves to suicide. So I don't know if you have health cut, that's something you could play around with to suicide faster. Some people will suicide in Dawn because death is basically like what, a 43-second iframe, so you can ignore Dawn things. But my recommendation is if you just started running to not suicide in Dawn, because that's like starting off in Black Mage and Burst strat, right? Like you want to get used to the mechanics and learn how to dodge all the things and learn how to manipulate the deer and manipulate Seren and like pop the balls and like not into your ball popper. Like you want to give yourself as much time to learn these things as possible while your party is like not close to a clear, rather than trying to like cut down the amount of time you have to practice in Dawn. It's pretty easy to get gangbanged in Dawn though. Like if people aren't doing their jobs, like it's pretty easy to get gangbanged in Dawn. Oh yeah, she also her stab in this phase is a super knockback and a slow. It's really fun and interactive and annoying. I wish I had impenetrable skin so I wouldn't get stunned every single time.
I wish I remembered that skill exists.
Yeah, I see it on F4, man. I don't think it's gone on cooldown yet.
I didn't use it a single time.
Come on, man, the damage! Yeah, walt farming BA, poggers.
Poggers.
He's only allowed to do this as long as he doesn't get hit. While DPSing though, by the way. You don't want to just like DPS her just to DPS her, because I think, do you remember what the math you did was, Yuki? Like every single time you get stabbed, like how much meter is that? Was that like, I don't remember.
Don't know, don't have an answer, sorry.
Oh, and I think our approximation is that like P2 has 350t of raw HP, right? Without shields.
Yes, that is correct.
Yeah, 350 trill HP without. That's our approximation.
So for our clear, which was 2.5 cycles, we did a total of 485 trill damage.
Yeah.
That's including the shield heals in 2.5 cycles.
Yeah, and the shield's default value is like what, 15% or something?
No, the default is 5%, I think.
Oh, yeah.
The default is way lower than 15%.
Oh wait, 15% is what our good shields are at, yeah.
Is what our good shields are at.
Yeah, so every Dawn we heal her a minimum of 15%. So there's that. So like over the course of the boss you have to do like, you know, if you have 2 Dawns you have to end up doing at least 130% of 350t. So that's some information I haven't seen posted around about, is how much HP does she have in each phase. P2 we think it's approximately 350t raw HP, and then the shields are, I don't know, dependent on party, but our best shields are 15%, I think. A more average shield for us I think is about 17%, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, so somewhere between 15 to 17% is the value of each of our shields. And then based on some early KMS VODs we watched, 17% was like the minimum shield value that we saw from KMS. Some KMS runs, but I only watched the reboot clears, honestly. So our goal was to try to drive it down to about the same as them as well. Yeah. Keep her in the corner in noon. DPS. Remember that dash has a cooldown, right? So after she dashes, you can walk out of the corner a little bit. You can see like Phelp just TP out of the corner and Yuki just TP out of the corner. They can do that. That's not inting, you know, like she's not going to dash for a bit. And then, you know, it's just as best as they can, go back in the corner. She might dash again soon. Okay, there's a dash, and she didn't walk out of the corner, so she was facing right, she dashed right. But this is still okay, we can still DPS her while she's still in the middle. She hasn't, and it's okay to be on the right side of her right now too, because her dash is on cooldown, so people can take their time getting back. FMA time, we gotta gather up. We decided to iframe this one. And then in noon, we keep her in the middle. You know, instantly showdown 1, 2, 3. Another thing, in case people didn't know, is Night Ghost Guide on Kana will int your showdown, because showdown has a component that's like a drop in XP buff, and it's a unique buff. So any other buffs that provide, I think, XP will delete your showdown. So NGG will delete your showdown. Demon Cry will delete your showdown. Those are the ones that is relevant to our party. So if Seren randomly becomes unshowdown in the middle of the run, just have people read their skills, man. Showdown lasts 2 minutes, by the way. So if you notice showdown was on early in your phase and she becomes unshowdown anywhere that's like earlier than the last like 10 to 15 seconds of the phase, it's pretty likely that some skill inted it and deleted it. I think the other untouchable skills, the FP one and the Mercedes ones, they're not affected by NGG or Demon Cry. Walt is trying to pact again.
Yes.
So did he die? You died.
Not
Poggers.
yet.
Not
Not
yet?
yet.
The toggle's confusing me. I thought the toggle was packed. Wait, you're still not dead.
I am.
Oh, you're dead
died.
now? Where'd you die?
Yeah.
Oh my god, I'm getting.
Huh, I died to the 1, 2, 3.
Oh.
He died to the 1, 2, 3, and the exact moment that he died to the 1, 2, 3, I found. That's what
Yeah,
happened.
Yuki's so poggers, man. Thank you, Yuki.
Oh, thank you, Yuki.
Thank you.
So this is where I think a lot of parties at 140 should be able to clear by this point. 8 minutes left. Maybe you go into this last midnight. That's fine generally, but it's probably gonna be pretty short. This is a 2.5. I think Fondue suicided there to skip the test. So if someone suicides, we can't do the test anymore. We have to iframe it. Because if even a single person fails the test, your whole party fails the test. So being dead on the screen is counts as well as failing the test.
Actually, with GMS server,
It was
things
an
are
easy
a little
test,
different.
so we just all duck there.
Yeah, easy test so we all duck. So yeah, if someone dies out and your tombstone is still on the screen and the test goes off, your party can't do that test. Like, your party can't pass that test. Your party has to iframe it or die. So when we have someone who is iframing on purpose, like we know they're gonna iframe, or we know they're dead and they're staying dead, we just don't even bother like looking for the test. We just do our own thing and try to survive it, try to pass it. Yes, I love Kana. Yes, Kana's still 5 lives. I love Kana. He's just that good, man. Yo, man, Kana is hard, dude. I'm trying to play Kana and
the MN is
Seren.
also
Oh
5
my
lives,
god,
so...
like, why don't Kanas have more iframes, man? Like, can Kana do what my Phantom is doing right here? Come on, man. Yeah, there's more deer will spawn late as the phases go on, by the way, so there's also that. Up to 3. We think the second one spawns around 40%.
40%.
And
third
the
one is like 20%.
20%, yeah. Does iframe count as failing? So if you iframe, you will pass the test personally. But if you are iframed and everyone else is trying to do the test and you're not doing the test because you're iframed, you fail the test. So this is critical if your party is using curring, because curring, you can't duck in curring. So if like all of you get into position to do the test, but then someone decides to pop a curring, they're gonna be standing, so they actually fail the test, but they don't get the penalties, and then everyone else will fail the test. But if you're iframed and someone else fails the test, you will not get penalized in any way. Yeah, so this is
Whoa, we
into the
gained
forest.
midnight.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So we gained.
Yeah, we got midnight here.
Yeah. If you look at the midnight gauge, which is the dark blue one, you'll see it gets bigger, and it got bigger because no one had their gauge fill up in dawn, and then we also passed the test from dawn to noon. So you'll see it's going to get slightly bigger here after this FMA. So that's because every single person, like, we obviously didn't do the test here. Like, we're all spread out. No one's doing the test. We don't even know where the fuck the test is. So we all did this test or passed this test with our iframes, and then the midnight gauge got bigger. If you do the test in duck while in Freud's iframe, does that count as passing? Yes. You can E-form and duck. You can duck while iframed. It does count. That should count. So if all 6 people are in like Jenny iframe and they all duck, okay, if 5 people are in Jenny iframe and they all duck and one person is also ducking, the last person that doesn't have Jenny iframe is also ducking, the last person will live. Like, will pass the test as well. Only if you're all in the right spot and no one is doing that stupid thing that I like to do, which is like kind of like adjust your positioning because you are insecure and unconfident, and then you kill everyone because you did that. The test will desync really, really hard. So there's chances where you guys will think you should have passed the test because you're all like, well, I was ducking during the test in the right spot, but then everyone still died. That's because of server desync. It thinks that someone came in like late. Like at the moment the test went off on your screen, that person was actually standing, and so you die because tests are like server sided. So that's why we only do select tests. We don't do all tests. We only do tests that we count as quote unquote easy, which means that like they are easy for us to get to. Like, we're not confident that everyone can get into position if the test is too far away, so we just always iframe those, or we just ignore those tests. So we still try to do tests where we can. It's just that, like, mathematically also, like, that means we do like 50% of tests because we are willing to do tests either right on top of us, to the left of us, or to the right of our meetup. And that's 3 possible locations. So
out of 6.
Yeah, 3 out of 6. So that's 50%. So that's how we do tests. We still try to do them because if you do the tests, you could get like midnight back or something, right? Because E-form is evil. E-formers are always, when you E-form a test, like if you E-form outside of the pillar, like the safe zone, you actually fail the test. You just don't die. That's all E-form is. But you still failed the test. So E-form is actually kind of like, I don't want to say a bait, but kind of is. For like, it's good for the person individually and bad for the party. So as little as possible, you want to not pass tests with E-form, even though like you totally could. You could E-form every single test. You just would like, you know, delete your whole party's like gauge, like a midnight. So yeah, this is the 3.5 poggers. Still more of the same thing, just more of keep her in the corner, don't get hit. At some point, if her health is low, she will spawn 3 fat lasers instead of 2. We never ended up dealing with that in a practice session. The first time we saw 3 fat lasers was during our clear. So there's that. So you won't see it in this VOD. There's no 3 deer. There's no 3 fat lasers. We never even saw 3 deer even in our clear. What the hell? Can you swap and blink?
Yeah, that's what I always do.
Of course you can. That's what Walt always does.
Okay,
always
I
do that
can't
anyway.
float up that high. I wouldn't know,
Wait, I
man.
literally told you guys that you can do this.
Well, I didn't
No one
listen because I don't have
listens
an
to
up
me.
jump, so I don't care, man.
You can still blink though.
Blink where?
Float up.
Float up slowly while blink runs out, okay, man? Man, I fucking hate up jumpers, man.
What the fuck?
Yeah, obviously not doing this test. We're not in position for this shit. Yeah, up jump is really good in this boss. Air stall is really like OP in this boss, like Blink, you know, is an air stall, but like if you have natural air stall, really good in this boss.
Phantoms can up jump, they just don't want to.
Shut up! I can't jump up jump, you know, I can press the jump button. I go up a little bit, you know, not a lot, but a little bit. It's like it's just a less big up jump, right? Or something. Copium. Man, who needs up jump? Up jump is a crutch.
Sounds like PD.
No, up jump is a crutch, man. Run this boss next week without up jump. Well, you won't.
I will. Actually.
Okay, okay. No up jump next week. Bring everyone unbind their up jumps, man. Come down to the earth with me, dude. Let's see how long we last.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, unbind Shikigami Charm, Yuki. Yeah. See how it feels, man. Come down here with me. What do you mean, nope? Coward? Coward? What the fuck you mean, mortal? No up jumps allowed. Up jump bad.
If you make me
unethical.
Then I'm gonna go to the middle and end you in the dawn.
Okay, shit. I'm not popping the balls then. Fuck. I will just sit in the corner. I will Freud's for dawn. You think I won't? Wait, Pocket just tried to request. Oh my god. Man, that's from so long ago. I forgot about that.
Wait, why is that video banned?
Because people kept requesting it, man. It was so annoying.
What's wrong with that?
Over and over again. Well, yeah, so this is like the timeout, I guess. You time out in the last dawn, but if you end up in dawn, you're not clearing anyway. So you have to kill her here. If you don't kill her here, it's doomed. There you go. I mean, we just died anyway. We tried to do the test for Walt, but it did not happen. So that's a timeout, I guess. Almost a timeout. But yeah. Okay, any last questions? Anybody? How much time do I have left on this WAP on my Lara? Oh no, I forgot to put away familiars. Oh man. Okay.
For parties that have different burst timer, that is something for yourself to adjust. Each phase in P2 is approximately 2 minutes and more. So what that means is that after each phase, technically you can rebind. With 4-minute party, you can double bind. With us, we only bind once per domain. For 4-minute party, there's some strats where you can burst really early on and then reburst at midnight instead of sunset like us. But it also means that you're relying on your midnight to be available. As you can see that with the runs, the midnight gauge does deplete a lot. And so there is a chance that your 4-minute is not going to come up again. And that can potentially ruin the next burst. So that's something to keep in mind.
Can someone tell Nexon to fix the fucking backgrounds in this boss, please? By the way.
Also, can someone tell Nexon to fix her animation canceling before FMA?
No. Dying is okay, but like my immersion.
No,
man.
that one was not immersion. How do you think that
my immersion?
That one is bullshit.
Dude, it's the same background in Sunset. So ugly, man.
That's true too. That is true too.
Like, come on, man. Yeah, that's it. I got nothing else to say about Seren. If people have questions, please ask. Go have fun dying in Seren. There's no tickets, you know. If you can pass P1, we practiced this boss when we were 2-bursting P1, so we would take 6 minutes to phase into P2, and you don't need to do any damage in P2 to get valuable practice, you know. You just need to try to engage with the mechanics or not. If you play Phantom, poggers, ignore all mechanics, poggers. you know. And then you can also see like how well you're doing in Dawn by how big the shield is. We had progress pictures where we like took pictures, took screenshots like at the end of Dawn, our first Dawn, and then we would like see like, okay, how much damage did we do, how big was the shield, and like those would be like individually labeled and shit. I think I have ours from, where is it? What happened to threads, man?
They are all dead.
I
Also, during
know.
dawns, we always call 5 seconds before the next puppy ball.
Yeah. Some people call like balls in 3 or whatever, but we call balls in like 5 because 3 is a little bit tight because of desync. Sometimes the balls just load in super fast. But yeah, that's it. Good luck. I hope to see a lot more clears. Boss is so fun. Node is transferable. Can't ring swap while the node is up though, by the way.
Unless you're in dark side.
Unless you're in dark side, yeah. I found that out today. That was poggers. That's pretty nice. You can right click the node though. Node is kind of int for GPQ, man. Anyway, that's it. Okay, I think I'm going to turn off the Twitch stream. People can't watch this later or whatever.
Bye.
GG.
Goodbye, Twitch. Everyone say bye to
Bye, Twitch.
Twitch.
Bye bye.